No one would have believed in the last years of the 19th century that human affairs were being watched by intelligences which inhabited the timeless worlds of space. No one could have dreamed we were being scrutinized as someone with a microscope studies creatures that swarm and multiply in a drop of water. Few men even considered the possibility of life on other planets, and yet, across the gulf of space, minds immeasurably superior to ours regarded this Earth with envious eyes, and slowly and surely they drew their plans against us.
At midnight on the 12th of August, a huge mass of luminous gas erupted from Mars and traveled with enormous speed towards Earth. I made contact with Ogilvy, the astronomer, and we hurried to his observatory. Across 14 million miles of void,
Invisibly hurtling towards us came the first of the missiles that were to bring so much calamity to Earth. As we watched, there was another jet of gas. It was another missile starting on its way. That's how it was for the next 10 nights. We saw, through the powerful telescope, a flare spurting out from Mars. Bright green, drawing a green mist behind it. A beautiful, but somehow disturbing sight. Ogilvy assured me we were in no danger, that meteorites might be falling in a shower upon Earth, or perhaps a huge volcanic explosion was in progress. But he was convinced there could be no living thing on that remote, forbidding planet.
The chances of anything coming from Mars are 1,000,000 to 1, he said. The chances of anything coming from Mars are 1,000,000 to 1, but still they come.
Then came the night the first missile approached Earth. Hundreds saw it, but thought it was an ordinary falling star. Some say it traveled with a hissing sound, some that it landed with a green flash. But it was morning before Ogilvy was informed that a meteorite lay somewhere between the villages of Horsell, Ottershaw and Woking, and he eventually found it in a sandpit on the common. An enormous hole had been made by the impact, and sand and gravel had been flung violently in every direction, forming heaps visible 1.5 miles away. The uncovered part of the projectile had the appearance of a huge cylinder with a diameter of about 30 yards. And there were faint sounds of movement from within. Suddenly, a lump of ashy incrustation fell off the circular top as it began moving, rotating, unscrewing. Ogilvy was convinced there was a man inside trying to escape, and he rushed to the cylinder, but the intense heat stopped him before he could burn himself on the still, glowing metal. People began to draw near, and he told them about the person in the cylinder. Everyone listened carefully for sounds from within. But since they had apparently ceased, no one would believe his tale. Then Henderson, the London journalist, arrived. He was eager to be first with the tidings of whatever was trapped in there, and he rapped sharply on the cylinder with a stick. This evoked no response, but served to increase Ogilvy's anxiety, and after conferring, the two men hurried away to Woking to fetch help.
The chances of anything coming from Mars are 1,000,000 to 1, he said. The chances of anything coming from Mars are 1,000,000 to 1, but still they come. Yes, the chances of anything coming from Mars are 1,000,000 to 1, he said. The chances of anything coming from Mars are 1,000,000 to 1, but still they come.
It seems totally incredible to me now that everyone spent that evening as though it were just like any other. In the gathering dusk were Ottershaw, Woking and Horsell. Lights were on in the upper windows of the houses as all their hundreds of people were contentedly going to bed. From the railway station came the sound of shunting trains, ringing and rumbling, softened almost into melody by the distance. The red and green and yellow signal lights hung in a framework against the sky. It all seemed so safe and tranquil.
Sen